Back to 8 a.m. guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much for sticking with us. We had a couple of technical difficulties there with our recording.
A couple.
Okay, I don't understand your techno mumbo jumbo, so a couple. Thank you very much. Oh no, I clicked something.
Oh
no, stop!
Stop
Okay,
with that
good.
voice, please.
Why does he have a... Oh.
What are you
Bella.
watching? No, look.
I'm watching the Twitch stream, but the ads just got a man with a blue beard and hair drinking a slurshie.
Slurshie.
I love slurshies.
I love slurshies.
We should go get slurshies.
We should get
Wait,
slurshies.
can we get slurshies actually?
Do you have money?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, what the
I got
fuck?
paid yesterday.
What the fuck?
Guys, we're
joking.
streaming.
What the fuck?
I give up. You guys all die. There's a fucking, like, hail
Miracle
storm.
shows up.
Miracle's like, haha, bitches! He doesn't even bother
That's
with his
not
Miracle
voice.
What is
justifies up
this?
with like Thanos. What the
No!
fuck?
That's the wrong dude!
Yes, that! That's what I was watching. That's what I was looking at. I was like, what is this?
Kizza finally snaps
Oh, I
and
know
kills
that
all
guy.
of you and then herself.
Also, Reese, you didn't hear what I said. I said Miracle teams up with Thanos. I meant to say Talos, not Thanos. He's like...
No, dude, Talos is gonna be in the doghouse for a while.
I want
Anyways,
to stab Telos.
back to what we were doing. Shin, you're in the little cave, but yeah, there's a pile of what looks like just discarded kind of equipment and stuff they would have taken
Okay.
off the bodies before
But
they
yeah,
ate them.
definitely nothing living.
Nothing living, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Not even mice?
I'll gesture for...
There's like
A spider.
yeah, there's like a spider in the one corner.
and
like-
Shin is just like, yo.
There's like a singular rat just kind of scurrying around.
Yeah. Okay. I'll beckon for Kizza to come over.
Probably fleas on the like little furs they've laid out as beds.
Beds.
I come over and you said there was like packs and stuff?
Yeah.
There's
I'm-
a small pile of kind of like just
Can we
equipment and stuff that's been thrown to the side because it's not edible.
search through it?
Yeah, go ahead. Make me a investigation. Sure, we'll do that.
That's 20.
13.
Okay, yeah. You guys managed to haul out just a couple of... Most of the stuff is kind of a little bit worse for wear. There's an extra bag, like a backpack type situation. There's a somewhat torn up blue cloak with these two kind of like golden clasps with these little, what looked to be rams on them. You couldn't quite tell though. They're a little bit scratched, a little bit dinged. There's a chest piece and a matching helmet that are both just kind of crumpled like cans. They're, if you took long enough to fix them, you could probably use them feasibly, but they're pretty dinged.
Pretty banged up.
There's also what looks to be a small healer's kit.
Okay.
A lot of the vials and stuff have been broken and kind of bled through, but there you can salvage a little bit of it.
Okay.
Other than that, there's not too much. Yeah.
Okay. I'll take... Well, is there anything you want to take?
I don't know. I'm kind of interested in the blue cloak.
I was gonna say the healer's kit and the cloak.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take.
You take those, yeah. It's like still kind of damp. You'd assume probably from blood or something.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not like super old, but it is kind of drying by now.
Okay.
Is there anything that looks like it might be useful for us, like to help fix the cart or something like that, or everything looks kind of just...
There's like a mallet type thing, like probably some sort of almost like Baz's throwing hammers, but it's kind of like the one half of the shaft is being taken off, so it's more just head and then like a bit of jagged wood.
I'm gonna take that so I can chuck it at Baz later. I
Other
have a
than that,
mallet.
the only real useful things would probably the armor if you fixed it up, or the bag if you needed another bag.
Okay, and that's everything.
They got
Was there? Well, I was gonna say, and the pile was kind of the main thing in the cave.
Yeah, there's a couple of scattered bones and such. Some rocks that have been kind of shifted around, probably from tossing or something.
Okay.
The kind of like pile of furs.
Mm-hmm.
There's not too much. There's like a small pit, almost for like a fire pit, but
Yeah.
there's 1 or 2 logs in it. It doesn't look like it's been used.
Okay.
Why is it so quiet?
I'm writing things.
Because
Sorry.
Kinzo's writing things.
Okay.
And Dylan is thinking.
Nope, I don't need that.
Meanwhile,
I'm
back
doing-
over at the cart, what's happening with you guys? You've managed to push the cart back up. You kind of mended it up. There's enough room for you guys to fit in, probably. It'll be a little bit squishier, but it's made for transportation of goods, so it can definitely hold quite a couple of things if you can find something to push or pull the cart.
Well, Tavik's gonna go wash off, and is Charlotte also splattered, or Charlotte's fine?
No, Charlotte was completely untouched, despite the fact that she was in front of you all.
Okay.
I smell like shit, so I would love to take a bath.
I
Or
already
wash off.
told you you need a bath.
I know. Why does everyone go after me for my body odor?
'Cause you stink?
You stink too.
No.
I can fucking smell you from here.
Well, that's 'cause there's giant guts on you.
Well, take a fucking bath. Has your
I'm
parents
going
ever told
to.
you about hygiene?
Okay, so
You're
are
getting
we
a punch to the
are we
face.
back there by now?
Hey, what do I roll to punch Baz in the face?
Can we
You
walk
just
back?
punched Baz in the face.
Oh,
Okay.
no,
Are you
no
guys?
damage.
You guys want to head back?
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to. Or actually, you know what? Before I do that,
2 plus strength?
can I look
5
around?
damage.
Like we're in the forest, kind of a little bit. Like there's a forest near us, or no?
No, it's
Reese?
just
So
hills.
you guys are currently in the middle of the golden fields.
Okay, can I
So
just like?
there's no.
It's
trees.
wide open. I
Um,
won't miss anything.
Yeah, there's hills and the river and stuff, so it's not
You just got
perfect. But
a big...
Hey, Tavik wants to do damage to me.
what?
Tavik wants to punch me with damage.
Okay.
He said stuff
There's no
about
city
Tavik's
guards this time.
parents.
Okay. Make an unarmed attack.
Bass isn't gonna even die from like an enemy. We're all just gonna gang up on him and kill him.
It's plus strength, I'm guessing, yeah? 17.
I think so. Yeah.
No, it hits.
Okay,
D4
D4.
for a punch. Still 5.
Sure. You just clock this dude in the face. You guys are like arguing over it, and then he says the magic words, and you just fucking. No, there's no warning or anything. It's not even like he gets a minute where you like wind up. It's just fucking uppercut.
And Tavik's walking
You've
around.
got like a bruise almost starting to form, and it's just this.
I probably bit my tongue.
Yeah, you bit your tongue. You've got like a bit of
Blood.
blood in
Baz isn't talking for a while.
your like
And
the
Tavik's
bottom
gonna
of
go
your
wash
chin
off.
is just indented with this bruise the size of his gauntlet.
Well, I mean, you can't see it because my beard, but you can feel it.
And Tavik's gonna go wash
Why does everyone fucking punch me?
I didn't
Because
punch
you're
you, I
an
stabbed
idiot.
you.
Oh my god, talk with your mouth, not with your fists.
He's gone. He's gone. Where was that Baz reputation chart?
Okay, I'll walk. Oh, I walk. Oh.
Oh, you fucked up.
You fucked up.
You done
So
fucked
you're
up, boy.
going. You're both heading for the river.
Yeah. We're bringing.
This guy just
You said
punched.
you were gonna stay and watch it.
Oh well, fuck.
This guy just punched me. I'm gonna go get naked with him.
Apparently, I'm staying behind.
Yeah, so you kind of you're like reeling a little bit. So
Tavik's
you
sister died like 4 days ago in game.
But I just asked if your parents ever said clean yourself, and you're like, fuck you!
yeah, but you kind of
You
go
insulted
reeling
his
back,
family.
kind of sit at on the edge of the caravan, kind of.
Yeah.
Charlotte's still just kind of laid out in the dirt.
Great. Can I? Wait. I have ink on me. Can I go over to Charlotte and just like draw a mustache?
Oh my god.
100%, like easy. Like roll me a sleight of hand to see how like artistic this is.
Why? You should
Um,
performance.
No, because you're not performing. You're like.
I could perform a dance while I
I
do
guess
it.
we'll just head back. I was thinking of like seeing if there was anything more
20.
to investigate. But
Oh yeah, no, like full
I wanna
on. Like
investigate.
this
I
thing looks
feel like
almost
there's something we're
realistic.
missing. I feel like this is too easy.
okay, everything's too easy.
Everything seems too easy. We're both like, I want to. What are you hiding?
Nothing.
I don't really think it's anything necessarily here.
Yeah, but I feel like there's something.
I mean, if we're always trying to find what Reese is hiding, we're always gonna like.
You're always gonna
Die.
be so lost. 'Cause there's like a bajillion things I've thrown in that are like only gonna make sense years in the future.
I guess we should probably just head back.
What the fuck are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, we start heading back.
Okay, yeah, you make it back. You pass a very angry Tavik on the way. Like he's fucking just. There's like a bit of a
Steve.
burn trail following behind wherever he steps. It like slightly scorches the grass.
Oh, and he has a bottle of whiskey he's chugging.
Oh yeah, no, he's fucking.
Me
just-
too, buddy.
He kind of like grunts in like a grunts while he's chugging the bottle when he
I
passes
saw
you guys.
Baz
You guys like,
assaulted.
I look at him and I'm like, Baz? Question mark.
Hi, Danny.
Danny's watching this at work.
Okay, I get a scowl. I take out that broken mallet and I'm just holding it behind my back.
I feel
Like,
mustache.
Tavik is pissed off to the point he's almost crying, and he's storming away.
Oh, the baby boy. Kizza doesn't care about him that much, but I do.
Like, probably not even scorching the grass, probably almost setting it on fire. So
no, then your boots would be on fire.
he has sandals.
Oh,
His sandals are gone.
He's now shoeless.
there's like burned foot tracks following him through the grass. Be pretty easy to track.
Sandals, not boots. Never any boots. Amanda's cleared away.
Okay.
You guys fucking back?
Yeah, you guys get back.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank you, thank you.
I was gonna say, Reese, that
I
ice
was
cube
distracted.
interesting.
Why won't you change colors? There we go. This.
That's gonna end up dead.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, can you watch the cart while I go take a bath?
Yeah.
Also, did any of you guys use soap? You stinky bastards.
As I walk off and I hold my 3 soap bars and I still have them.
And
Okay, so he's walking off.
yeah.
Okay, I take the mallet.
You do realize that like the giant's puke and everything and the blood and everything is being washed off, but there's still like a slight smell of river, right? Because it's not a proper clean bath, but it's done the trick. So you do smell slightly of fish.
Okay, I take the mallet
I
in
mean,
my
I'm
hand.
pretty sure that's fine for Kizza.
I want to just huck it at the back of his head.
Dylan.
Not necessarily to hurt him, but I just want him to like
No,
fall.
no, it's gonna
the
fucking
dwarf.
Oh,
Knock out the
okay.
dwarf.
Sure, we're gonna try to hurt him, I guess.
Roll the hit.
Okay.
We'll say this is what, like a throwing hammer?
Mm-hmm.
But you'll do it with disadvantage because it's not perfect. So
15.
that hit you. That hits you.
Plus
Okay.
strength.
Uh,
What's the damage on a throwing hammer?
Plus strength is
1d6
9.
plus 2.
What?
1d6
plus-
plus
Strength.
strength.
Yeah.
So
Plus my strength?
Yeah.
Okay.
6.
So plus
6.
Does Baz even just like
Does he
What
get a
the
break?
fuck does
No.
how hard
you just fucking
do I get knocked out or like
no, like not knocked out, but there's definitely gonna be a bruise.
starts crying? He's like, "This always fucking happens to me."
I I feel like you like turn around to see and stuff, and they're just twiddling their thumbs.
Yeah. Me and Shin are both like we're fully in a conversation, like we're talking about like the horses. We're like, so
You
you
guys
watch
are like moving those boxes. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Watch as fucking Baz turns evil because of you guys. Like he's like those
Baz is the
fuckers.
villain.
Are
It's
we-
Baz and a crab.
Are we?
Baz has crabs.
I was gonna say the title of the final episode is Baz has crabs.
Baz gets in the river and he gets bitten by the crab, and it turns out it's a radioactive crab, and he turns into Crab Man.
Then we have a reason to kill him.
perfect.
Or he has a
More
a
of a
reason to
reason
kill
to
you
kill him.
guys. You
Ew.
think it's gonna be easy? It's Crab Man.
Havoc's pretty pissed
Fuck you
off.
up.
Okay, well, I'll get to the river then.
Yeah, so
Do
you
I see
guys get to
Havoc?
the ribbon. Yeah,
the crab
I'm
still
assuming
there?
you guys probably go to like
Different
separate
sides.
sides
I have
of
a
the bank.
question.
Like, you're
Is
lucky.
his side like Loki a hot tub because he's just like
Oh yeah, like there's
Okay.
like
great.
Do I get some of that on my side?
there's like a shimmering above. You know when you look out and like you can see the heat. That's just the entire river around him, and
You're
it's
lucky
like bubbling
that
slightly.
Reese toned down Havoc's race a bit.
Yeah,
Or else he'd be a fire elemental right now.
they just fucking lose it sometimes.
So wait,
Like it's like warmer than you'd expect.
Okay. I finally have a reason to do this. I want to use that mountain soap that I got like way fucking long time ago. You said it has something special to do.
Oh shit!
What the fuck happened to that one tip?
Do I have?
Hey,
Someone fucked it.
they're donut holes.
Do I?
Look at it.
Do I have mine? Oh god!
I want
You're-
I want a chocolate one, please.
They're donut holes. They're not.
I don't know if I have the notes for that.
What the fuck?
Well, like I didn't expect it. Sorry.
Did you even notice that you were missing one of them?
Well,
He would now if he's looking for it.
in the forest, but like, whatever.
Yeah, because Shin stole the forest one.
Which one are you using? The mountain one?
Yep.
Okay.
Are you just gonna make it up on
Is
the
he
spot?
upstream from Havoc or
I
downstream?
know what it is. I don't have the exact text that I was gonna.
Is he upstream or downstream from Havoc?
Downstream, because the water's kind of flowing towards them. And it's warmer.
What?
Okay.
Well, because it is still floating on the river. He is upstream.
So you take
First
it.
off, does it smell nice?
Oh, it smells like it doesn't have a scent at 1st, and then like you start washing and stuff. And it starts to smell like fresh air, like cold, clean fresh air. And the area around you begins to ripple. And suddenly you're no longer in this river. You're standing on the side of what looks like a mountain pass. And they're very, very high up, and it's just peaks as far as you can see. They climb up. You can see the.
Wait, am I nude?
y-
Like I know I'm nude before, but like, am
Like-
I nude in this?
like, you know, you should be,
I'm
but
not
like, there's like shimmering around
Okay.
you, so you can't really look and see yourself.
censoring kiddos.
It's like you're in the wherever this image is, but you can't.
There's a
see
huge
yourself
bar
in
over
Yeah, it's like
garage.
censored, and I'm like, what? It's just really small.
it. Yeah.
There's like a
you are-
France rose, but it's like a rosebud instead of a rose.
Talia jokes.
But you're standing on this kind of mountain pass, and you can see kind of the cloud level far below. Like these are probably the largest mountains you've ever seen, right? The Greymore Mountains and the Broadmoor Mountains, those probably get pretty close to cloud level, and you don't know from first-hand experience, but Cramnell you do know is quite tall mountains. These are a good mountain and a half above cloud level. Like these things are ridiculously big. And it looks like you're in the middle of what looks like a snowstorm. And you can see a figure kind of higher up, a little bit farther away, that's kind of fighting through it, getting over here. They have this large kind of fur-lined cloak clung around them and this large kind of, like, stick they seem to have, like, just picked up from somewhere. It looks like it's been taken right off of a tree. and they're just using it to kind of trudge through this like knee-high snow. Like this thing comes up to your waist nearly. And they're trudging through, and they begin to get closer to you, and you begin to be able to make out features of this thing. And it's a dragonborn. These dark kind of green scales. It's similar to Kissa, like pretty close, but definitely a lot younger.
Okay, tell my mom.
Shit!
Sorry.
I knew I left my child somewhere.
I don't know if you heard, but Tavik just whispered to me, daughter, and I just went, shh. Like, no, I'm not ready to be a mom.
Or are you one already?
Secretly, Kizza has, like, a wife, child, and, like,
Mistress on the side.
mistress on the side that she's hiding.
No, it does. It looks actually like really similar to Kizza, except it's not got as many scars as Kizza have. There's still a couple, but a lot more of the ones that you see nowadays are not there. One or two of these look very fresh, very new, and you can tell that from here. They look like they've just begun to scab over. They're not bleeding anymore. The Dragonborn is wearing these not quite armor, but more like battle robes almost. Kind of these dark pelts. There's kind of a belt around. It looks almost like a large tunic, and there's a large belt around with this huge buckle that is emblazoned with this picture of what looks like some sort of sea creature.
Oh my god, it's your wife.
I gotta go.
It looks like some sort of squid.
I gotta go! A fucking snail. Give me, I got 1 second.
Did you draw a snail?
Yeah.
No, it looks like a some sort of squid.
Is it a sextopus?
It's got a single eye
No, it's fine.
emblazoned, and it's detailed quite finely onto this belt.
Kawaii.
You also notice that there is an axe hung at the side, swinging from the belt, and it's very pristine axe, but it's covered almost like it's got some dried blood on it and stuff. There's clearly, whoever this person is, they've gone through a bit of a battle just earlier, and they continue to trudge through the snow, and then there is the sound of what sounds like a roar. This deep echoing growl that just cascades from around you, and the Dragonborn, who's previously kind of been focusing on shielding themselves from the wind and stuff, kind of like perks up, goes and reaches for the axe almost, and you see this dark, just humongous figure just dart barely above you guys. It's too difficult to see in the storm, but it is this beast, this gigantuan creature. It looks draconic, but from the dragons that you know, this thing is 4 times bigger. And the Dragonborn halts for a second and watches it as it passes. It does this kind of swoop, and then it dives downwards across where you are, kind of, and it begins to continue that way. And the Dragonborn kind of puts the axe back from where she'd been ready to draw it.
So it is a she?
It is a she.
Okay.
It is female. And continues now at a more quickened pace. And she gets quite a distance away before there's a sound like a bell. And it's crisp. It's very clear, and you hear it almost like you rung it in your own ear. And there's this kind of ripple that you watch as it starts to form, almost like the ripple you'd seen first when the image had appeared. And the Dragonborn slowly begins to move slower and slower and almost halts, and like it looks confused, and you can see its eyes flickering back and forth as it goes, and then it just stops, stock still. And everything freezes. The mountainside, the snowstorm, everything is done. And you find you can move, and you begin to move towards towards this person. And as you go, you notice you're getting sluggish. The farther and farther you get towards this person, and then there's another sound like a bell, ding, and the same ripple effect, and it's like a wall. It's see-through for the most part, but like you tap slightly in front of you, and there's like a ripple, and you see it kind of waver and stuff, and then it stands back to still. And then it begins to bleed away, and the color drops first from this image, and then the snowstorm disappears overhead, and you're back in the river. And the soap bar is nearly gone. There's a sliver left.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Is my dick still there?
Your dick is gone.
What the fuck?
While you were in the
You're
vision,
so
the
good.
crab snuck out.
You see next to your foot, like, something scuttles over your foot. It's the crab. And you kind of, like, you freak out a little bit. You drop the sliver of smoke. Of
Smoke?
of soap. And you see it, like, just float down. And as it goes, it starts to deteriorate. And it's gone.
Is that what it's like to do acid? Holy shit.
Tavik,
Teenager again.
Tavik, you saw Baz pull out his soap and he'd lathered himself up and stuff, and then he kind of frozen looking at it, and then he dropped it, and that's it.
Dwarf spirit.
You're a little
Dwarf's
bit too pissed off to care.
Dwarf's doing drugs.
So, this is my drawing of the lady.
Ooh, no.
Reese immediately needs to remedy this situation.
It's female, right?
No. You could not tell what the gender of the squid engraving was.
I'm making it a female.
You're giving it boobs?
And hair.
The Dragonborn was a female. It's just a carpet she had on her armor or shield. Squids don't have hair.
Oh, yeah. No, it does now.
This is Baz's artistic interpretation.
Oh, okay, I see what it kind of looks like now. Okay. That looks a lot better than Baz's drawing.
Fuck
Oh
you!
my god, stop.
Back at the
She
cart.
doesn't have any nipples.
Do you want me to make nipples?
And this is why I don't give descriptions of stuff without drawings.
There we go.
Wait. Hey, spoke Cthulhu.
It's not Cthulhu.
We should ask Danny if, like, he can show up in the evil campaign and, like...
Cthulhu or Baz?
No,
Baz.
Baz can show up, show that to your character, and Baz can fucking die.
Oh, we'd kill Baz just like. If
Just-
he tried to talk
just
for like
as a
2
hobby.
seconds.
When you came in, the
Could
lady was
Baz...
fucking
No,
roasting.
could Baz be like Thor's goat?
Oh no, my character would kill.
Where he constantly comes back to life and we just kill him?
Anyways, back at the cart,
You too.
you guys have kind of, like,
Sneaky snake.
taken up, like, areas.
It's Loki.
You
This guy's dwarf.
you
Dwarf tossing.
Wait.
So,
Give him a nice wiki.
Tavik's angry, but not
Rose
only
Drummond.
Tavik is angry. Jasper seems a little bit on edge as well.
No, who's tapping?
No, I think Jasper's a little on edge too.
There we go.
I'm not at the throwing. It's
I drew Loki. It's a snake. Love a snack.
Okay,
even Dylan's done with you now.
so we're back.
back.
Tavik, can you
at
see
the
my
cart.
dick from here?
It's Loki.
Do you want him to burn it off of you?
I'm good. There's this crab's watching me. It's very intimate. I don't know what to do.
Can I pick up a rock on the bottom of the river and talk
That's
to the
what
Baz?
was engraved.
Spooky.
You guys want to
Can I check a rock at Baz's head?
This crab is like looking at me with those
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, you guys just kind of... No, the
No,
the
this
crab
is-
scuttles
There we
away.
go.
Never mind. I lost interest.
It takes one click at your dick and then drop.
Yeah,
Just
it's
like.
It's, like, way too late to see on stream. That's fine. Yeah,
Hey, you got a 1.
I dropped it.
Oh, cha.
it's fine. You guys just kind of have, like, a water fight.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Hell rocks!
Yeah, clumps of dirt, rocks, just...
No, it's like
You end up having to take a secondary bath. Use the other bar of soap.
Wait, what's
Another
C? I have a
efficiency.
C. Do you want me to?
If you keep messing with Tabak, he's gonna try to kill you.
You're fine.
So mountain's gone.
Like, you ruined your chance of
okay.
ever redeeming yourself.
So, okay, I'm gonna have a conversation with Shin, so shut the fuck up. Okay.
Yes, daddy.
You may not be scared of Kiza, but you will be terrified of me when I'm angry.
Ow.
Thank you, Dylan.
Okay.
So, Shin, they fixed the cart. Great, right? We don't have a horse.
Yes, it does seem that way, doesn't it?
So,
You know,
is there
you guys
any-
don't have a horse. It doesn't seem that way. You don't have a horse.
So, do you think there's anything we could do to fix this situation?
No,
I mean, we could.
you're useless.
I mean, we could find a horse.
Let's go horse hunting.
Okay.
New reality
Let's
TV.
It's like
see.
house hunting, but fantasy.
It's
You
not
know
like
what?
you guys know that I have the spell.
I have animal handling. Is that gonna help me in any way, shape, or form in this situation?
You have to find a
I don't
horse
think
first.
Shin's an animal.
No, I want.
He's just a
Hurry.
dick. Do you have any dick handling skills?
I do actually.
That's ironic. You're a lesbian.
It was one time. It was a phase, but I was apparently good at it. Roll the handle with dick. I got 10 plus. Okay.
Back at the river.
Baz
Back
putting on
to the
his
place
clothes.
that actually wants to
Does
play.
it count as survival because Kiza trying to survive dealing with dick is a very hard thing? I'm gonna say so. Okay, I got a 14 to handle you.
I'm just gonna go back to trying to
So
swim.
we're
Okay.
Are you handled? Did I get high enough? Do I have to roll
Fucking roll
again?
initiative.
For what?
For me killing you.
Oh no.
Can we do that with can Tabak kill Baz?
No. No one's killing anyone.
You stabbed
God.
him in the back.
You
so I
guys
can't
have
die.
lost about an hour now.
Yeah.
That was Baz's fault.
Did you guys get dressed and head back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Baz comes over the hill.
What I was initially trying to say was the horse just bolted off. Never mind. This isn't gonna work. I was gonna
Run
say
fast enough to catch up to a horse.
that was my question to myself, but I don't think so.
Not when you've lost an hour and a half to it.
Okay, fine. Shin kind of.
I mean, you guys can walk. You need cardio.
I can pull the cart, maybe. Can I try to lift the cart and see if I'm able to hold
Make
it?
an athletics check with
Okay.
disadvantage.
Great. This is probably
While she does that, I start casting Find Seed. It takes
No.
me 10 minutes.
I don't even need to know. No, you can't drag the fucking cart to Ocean Hall. That'd be a 5-hour walk anyways. In fact, it'd probably take you longer.
Great.
You're casting Find Steed?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, I darkened it up so you can
Okay, this is what the squid looks like.
looked like.
Oh god. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, there we go.
Please look at that thing I sent you.
Piece of poop. That apparently only has 6 tentacles instead of
Oh,
8.
jeez.
Mm-hmm.
It's a squid, not an octopus.
They still have I can't remember.
I don't know which one of those is supposed to be the one I'm looking at, but
The
they're
one I
both
just
stupid
sent
as
you.
I... Okay. Yeah. So... Good God. What are we doing? You cast Find Steed.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Nice.
10.
Isn't your passive perception better than that?
Yeah, my passive perception is 16.
Okay.
Charlotte, stay still.
This one? It is this one. Okay. Yeah, so you cast Find Steed. You take a second kind of just to focus. And you make an animal calling. Like, you kind of put your hands together and you make like a, like, the...
Oh my gosh.
Like, you make some sort of animal call. You're not quite sure what animal it's
Yeah.
for. It's kind of like this high-pitched screeching.
I learned it from Baz.
When Baz
And-
gets punched.
Secretly, if it's a dwarf call.
Baz is like,
Yeah, no, as you hear it, you're... Let us find him.
I see Baz.
You're inhabited by the spirit. You're like backseat driving. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, on the ground, crouched. Get on. I will get you. This little crawling dwarf like a spider. It's actually horrifying. You're traumatized. You never want to see it again. No.
And this was the last time that Shin used Find Steed.
The problem was you couldn't get rid of him because you have to like outs the spirit,
Yeah.
but like it just wouldn't work, so you're stuck. That's what it is. He plays your steed. Now.
Finally a way to deal with the dwarf.
The worst part is it doesn't understand how to speak, so it's just whenever it opens its mouth, it makes these
What?
screeching, like gibbering sounds.
Oh yeah.
No, in Baz, it doesn't understand
Yeah,
how
of
Baz
course.
speaks, so it just makes these kind of.
Yeah.
It's actually the worst thing you've
Please
experienced.
have
It's
that
worse
be
than the
canon.
dwarf.
Yeah.
No, you hear for a second it's quiet, and then you hear kind of this answering shriek. And it sounds kind of far away, but it's definitely closer approaching. And you begin to hear what sounds like a flapping.
What
So
did
did I
you
summon
do?
a bird?
The rustling of wings. And there's a secondary screech, and just this shadow just passes overhead. And then alighting down in the road comes this just huge creature. At first you think it's an eagle, because it alights on these two taloned claws with this large eagle head and the wings and everything spread out. But the back half is more cat-like. You summoned a griffin.
Oh my god.
And the griffin has what looks to be a small saddle on its back. And this blue kind of, like, blanket draped over top for the saddle to sit on. If you've ever been horse riding, they've got kind of the blankets underneath.
Yep.
It's kind of like that. It's emblazoned with this kind of like circle, the actual like blanket is, with a golden ram's head engraved into it, or like stitched in on both sides. It's
Golden
kind of
ram's head. That
it's
matches the
inlaid.
cloak. That matches
it's
the cloak.
inlaid pretty nicely and everything. It's got already a kind of reins set into its beak. And there is a singular feather just above its left eye that is dyed blue.
oh my god, it's emo.
Scene kid.
And it lands next to you, and it's got, you see these kind of like side satchels attached to the actual like saddle itself. And they've got the same kind of ram's head engraved in it, I guess. Engraved isn't the right word, I don't remember. You get the
Stitched.
idea. Stitched, kind of. It's like, they're like leather
Embroidered?
bags. It's like leather bags. It's like it's been burnt onto it.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, okay.
that leather burning. Yeah.
Yeah, branded.
Yeah.
And it alights, and it kind of like, it crosses one of its legs, like folds it in and just kind of like bows almost.
Okay.
And then it stands back up, and it kind of just cocks
Has
its
more
head to you.
manners
It
than
goes,
us. Holy shit, dude. That's extra as fuck.
I didn't mean to summon a fucking griffin.
Let's just give him McElroy.
Hey, buddy!
That's his name now.
Kiza looks at it
Does
and
it
goes,
still
hey!
follow the rule?
It like looks at you, and it like cocks its head again and goes,
Does
and
it
then it looks back at Shin.
Does it still follow the language rule that's for Fine Steed, which is it only understands the one that you give it, or does it have... So can I use Elvish?
Sure. What type of Elvish?
Drow Elvish.
Okay.
I know Elvish.
You don't
dang,
know
no,
Drow
I don't know
Elvish.
Drow Elvish. Never mind.
Well, it's telepathically communicated.
Yeah, and yeah.
So.
What are you laughing at?
A bird.
Burb. Speaking of birds,
Oh, it's kind of a bird.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a griffin.
It's cool.
I'm so sorry for everything I'm setting you right.
so,
Oh no! I don't want to open my phone now.
I guess
You might want to tell it the situation we're in.
yeah.
Just a suggestion.
What's everyone else doing, by the way? Is Baz still like?
Davic's polishing his armor instead of punching the dwarf in the face again.
Well, because I think the dwarf is back with us.
I'm at the.
You're halfway back.
Halfway back.
He's slow.
You're like just rounding the corner.
Kiz is probably just like sitting next to Charlotte looking at this griffin like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you could have got a horse, but no, you got a fucking griffin.
I don't know. Does Kizza know that I cast Fine Steed?
Or do I just think a
It's
random
verbal,
griffin?
so-
Oh, okay. I was like, do I just
You
think a
wouldn't
random
understand what it was, but you do realize that it
He probably realized the
cast
color
something.
matches the cloak or something like that.
griffin? Oh, shoot, yeah, the cloak.
Yeah, that I have in my bag.
Shin, show them the thing. I don't know if they'll actually like it if you show them the thing. Maybe don't show them the thing. It might be their owner, and they might be very upset about it.
Well, because this isn't actually the griffin, it's the spirit embodying the griffin that decided to come here as a griffin.
Apparently it was the closest steed.
Apparently the closest steed was a griffin.
Well, I'm glad it's a steed now and not, like, attacking us.
As soon as the spell ends.
Great.
Da-da-da-da.
I'm trying to find.
I'm having too much sugar as it is.
I guess I'm going to telepathically tell it that we need something to help us get to Ocean Hall. So
Yeah, no, talk.
yeah,
Talk
I
like
don't
Shin.
want to.
Do it, Dylan. Your Shin voice is
Come on,
great.
Dylan. Character voices.
Character voices are better. Like,
Ow.
how far are we from break?
You're not gonna. You're not
No,
just
I
gonna
have to
like.
go pee.
Okay.
Well, no, because I don't know what intelligence it has, because all it says is that if it's 5, it becomes 6. And it doesn't necessarily say it has the
What's
ability...
1 + 2? 5. It's fucking dumb.
You mean Baz?
You mean Jason?
Well, because this doesn't specify it can talk back, it just specifies that it understands you.
You can see like it's now that you're looking at it, its eyes, which you'd assume would probably be more bird-like. They're almost just kind of blue, just this dark blue that have been kind of bled out into the entirety of the eye.
Okay.
And like it's kind of got the same mannerisms that a bird would, right? So it's kind of like tilting, kind of like this awkward kind of searching, but like it's quite attentive.
Okay. Jeez. I don't like doing this. No. I don't like finding what to say.
Words.
I'll give you a hint here. Generally, the best thing to do when introducing yourself to an otherworldly spirit is to introduce yourself.
To Faye, you say, "Oh, my name's Gerald."
No.
Hi, I'm Tabak.
No. You look at them straight in the eye and say, "Hi, my name is Baz Benquin, owner of the Benquin mining family."
You got it
Say it
wrong.
properly.
It's Baz Benham Benquin, owner of the Benquin family mining business.
Just, yeah, whatever.
Formerly.
Or
Former.
just a hate on Baz episode.
Everyone always hates on Baz. It's nothing new.
Okay, meanwhile, back at the river. You finished. You cleaned.
No,
You-
he's polishing his armor.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
it's very
Polishing
clean.
his armor.
You've been sitting here for a while. It's clean.
Polishing his sword.
Yeah, no, everything is washed, everything is polished, it's gleaming and shit.
I love you.
Okay, he's gonna head back then.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Baz, you finally back. There's a large griffin crouched in the middle of the road,
You're right, that's Shin.
and, like, Shin and it are having a staring contest, and Kids is, like, sitting in the corner.
Guys, what the fuck?
I named
Okay.
it Griffin.
You named the Griffin
It's
Griffin.
not
I named the Griffin
Okay.
Griffin.
Fine.
It's Shin Jr.
No, that was the spider.
Whoa! Wow! Not any M
Audio.
Craig in my Christian household.
Audio. Christian server. No.
Okay. Let's go with,
There's Jasper. Hi, my name's Shin.
oh my god, everything's moving.
Welcome to Shin Learns How to Talk.
No, welcome
Speak!
to Everything's Fucking Moving.
I don't know your last name, but hi, my name's Shin. Last name inserted. I'm
You-
here
you-
to tell
Uh-huh.
you that I love you and I miss you.
That's not this scene yet. I guess Shin sees the bird tilt its head, and he tilts his head back as well, because Shin is Shin. And he says, I guess over, because you said it's telepathic.
100% you tilt your head with it, and it goes.
Hello. I had everything right there. Hello, I'm Chin. I'm sorry to ask you here for a very menial task.
Okay. The griffin sits down on its haunches, very, very cat-like, kind of like it's ready to get up at a second's notice, and it tilts its head back to normal, and it looks at you and it goes, "I am Sarayon, bearer of the Eastern Wind.
Jeez.
What purpose would you have me serve?"
My companions and I require help traveling to a nearby city. Would you be able to assist us?
It, like, nods its head slightly.
Would you be able to pull the cart that my companions have repaired?
Wouldn't it be easier to just, like, get on its back?
It, like, tilts its head, and it, like, looks over at the cart and stuff, and it goes, "It would be difficult in this form, but I can manage."
Shin kind
Turn
of
into a fucking horse, you kinky bitch.
It's not that.
Please tell me you didn't say that out loud.
Baz doesn't.
You can't hear it. As far as you're aware, they're just like intimately looking into each other's
That's
Oh,
eyes.
just Jason saying it now.
I kind of. I guess Shin just kind of nods and looks to the others and says, "Well, it seems that I've fixed our horse problem."
Oh my gosh.
What are you
Baz
guys
needs
doing?
to like get off your
I don't
phones
know.
while we're playing because we don't talk.
I'm waiting.
Thank you, Dylan.
Okay.
This is the phone corner.
Yeah.
If we have to be off our phones, Jasper's be off theirs too.
Serene rises from where he's kind of crouched in this griffin body, and he tilts his head again the opposite way now, and he says, "What are your directions?"
Are you okay?
That way. Right about that way.
You don't know directions.
Would you be able
You
to
get lost
position
so
yourself so that we can attach the cart to your saddle?
Yeah, no, it moves easily into the away, like it stands in front of the cart.
Yeah, so that we can.
We don't have anything to hook this.
You have your guys' own cart, which they'd kind of dismantled and
Yeah.
fixed up.
Oh,
Put together. So I guess
It's
I
just kind of
attach.
piled up.
I attach the cart to the griffin.
Okay, yeah. It's a little bit difficult. Like you end up kind of like having to shove the saddle weirdly to get it in there and stuff, unless you're removing the saddle and such.
We could remove the saddle, put it inside the caravan.
Put it back on my griffin when we're done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably best to do that. Remove the saddle and we'll put it back on.
Okay, yeah. You leaving the blanket?
Yeah, leave the blanket.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. You put the harness on and stuff. There's like a slight squawk as you like tighten it up and stuff, and then it composes itself. It's clearly not used to having to drag large objects like this.
Yeah.
But it is now attached.
I kind of
You
look
have a cart pulled by a griffin.
I kind of look at the others and raise an eyebrow and go, "So are we ready?"
We're missing Tabik, but we could just leave without him.
We can leave without
Havoc,
Tabik.
you're rounding the hill now.
I've been ready for like the past hour, man.
Just someone.
I picked
can
up.
I?
Can I pick up
yeah.
Charlotte? Do I have to roll to pick up Charlotte, or am I picked her up enough that I can just? Okay.
She's still dressed in this kind of toga.
Oh, I want to.
Can we investigate the toga?
Sure.
What am I
Roll
doing?
me a perception check.
Or is it investigation?
Investigation, yeah.
That's one better. No.
It's
a
a
crit
one.
one.
Can I investigate
Um,
too?
Yeah, no, you like move closer to
I love
investigate
how I
and
hit
stuff.
Tabik and I get a fucking.
Investigate.
18 to
What are you
investigate.
investigating?
yeah.
Fucking toga.
Charlotte's
What
dressed
does
in
it look
a
like?
toga type
Oh yeah.
getup.
Yeah.
It's very pristine, very, very fine silk. There's like a slight, like, slightly off-colored yellow, not yellow, white. That's kind of been stitched into
So like cream.
kind of,
Off-color
yeah.
white.
Off-color white. It's like silver. It's more silverish, more of a gray kind of.
Mhm.
That's been stitched into just like the chest, the center of the chest. That resembles something you can't quite figure out what it's supposed to be. It's a weird shape, but it seems to be some sort of symbol. It's very, very, very nicely made, and it's kind of like slightly glowing, like it's giving off a faint bit of light, but not enough that you'd be able to like see in the dark or anything.
Is Tabik there yet? Or so? I guess I
Yeah,
could ask
Tabik,
him.
you're crossing the field.
Yeah, he's making his way. He's staying as far away from Baz as he
He
can.
goes the long way.
Yeah.
You kind of step over the.
Are you gonna walk behind the cart?
The scattered
Yeah, you good.
bits
You
and
walk.
pieces of cloth and boxes.
He's staying away from Shin, or he's staying away from Baz, or else he's gonna.
Kiza's gonna
And I'm
go
not
over
gonna
to Tabik and be like, I suck at magic, but I think there's something magical about what she's wearing.
What?
This thing. She starts like.
Were you gonna say weave?
No.
Gesturing to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Investigate. Or do you want me to do Arcana on it?
I don't know. Which one do you? Arcana.
I'm guessing
maybe?
Arcana.
Yeah, because we investigated. We kind of know what it looks like and everything like that. I'm just wondering if there's something magical because it glows.
17 Arcana to look at the toga.
It's got like a faint trace of magic, but you can't quite place.
What kind of magic it is?
It's almost similar to your magic style. You're kind of
a
holy
celestial.
imbued magic, but it's
It's a kind of.
warped.
Your dad's home.
Okay.
I hope he won.
Some kind of radiant or celestial magic.
Okay. Well, we're ready to go, I think. We've got a griffin to pull our cart.
I noticed.
Its name is Griffin.
It squawks at that.
Its name is John.
It squawks again.
Its name is...
What was his actual name?
His actual name was Sarayon.
You might want to write it down.
Its name is Barry.
Shin
It
kind of
squawks again.
Shin kind of looks at you, raises an eyebrow, and says, "Rather disrespectful, don't you think, to name a creature that already has a name?"
Well, I don't know its name!
If birds could smile, it would be smirking. It like puffs up its feathers.
What's its name then, almighty genius? Almighty Gaylord? What's its name? Or you got too much dick in your mouth to tell me?
That's Tavik doing that, by the way.
And
Can
you
I
don't
bite?
fucking hit her, you hit me though, like...
Can I bite Tavik's hand?
You can try.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Can we just go? I am...
Do I have to roll to bite
Did
their
you
hand?
put Charlotte down?
No, I'm still holding Charlotte.
I look over at them, raise an eyebrow, and go, "Would you please just get in the caravan?"
I do.
Okay.
Not with the dwarf.
Oh my fucking god.
Then you can walk, and I get in the driver's seat.
Thanks,
Question.
Shin.
Are you guys bringing the boxes and stuff? Are you leaving those on the side of the road? Are you bringing anything of
Was
the
there-
Do you
wreckage?
need any
Was
of
there
it?
anything of value?
I'm gonna leave my food there.
There's
There was like 15
Fuck all of
boxes of
those.
pastries.
I'm leaving those.
there's like quite a few boxes of just dried meats and jerkies. There's a couple of different cloths that you guys haven't bothered with. You kind of like stack the boxes up near them, but
I lied. I'm taking the one hot pocket.
okay, it's like squishy and like covered in blood.
I lied. I'm putting it down.
Yeah, you like
'Kay.
wander over to get it and stuff, and you pick it up, and it's like dripping,
Oh,
and like
like-
an intestine falls off, and you're like, ah. You put it back down.
Well, that's
I put
over there. It's Tavik's
I
eating
put
the cart.
Charlotte in the back of the cart.
Okay, yeah, you pile Charlotte in. She like moves, and like you can see behind her eyes, they're clearly moving and stuff, like ranging around and stuff, but she doesn't
Like
show
she's
any,
in REM sleep?
any indication of moving.
Hey
Is there-
Shin,
is
do you
there-
want me in the driver's seat with you, or do you want me in the back so that...
I was just gonna ask if there was another seat so I could sit beside him.
No.
There's like, you could probably fit on with him since you're one of the smaller members, but two of the larger members would not fit. Yeah.
I'm gonna
like-
jump up beside Shin.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you push me off or do you push me slightly away?
I push you off.
I get in the back of the caravan.
You
Please get in the back.
flop off.
Okay, and I get into the back.
It's like, it's not like, it's pretty comfy. There's like a row of cabinets on the one side where you'd found the little cubby hole. There's not too much in it. There's like a couple of pots and pans that are being tossed around.
Yeah.
You open one of the cupboards and they like fall out and stuff, and you're like stuffing them back in and close the thing again. And you're like, don't open that one again.
So is Tabak walking?
No, I said he got in when Baz was walking around looking at stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys like
So
sit
everyone's
on
in?
opposite
Opposite
sides and
sides.
like look out
He's
out
I'm
wherever.
definitely rubbing my chin, being like,
So much pain.
Do you want another punch to the face?
Kizza has a staff.
Ah.
They lay it down in the middle of
Beat
the
my turn
caravan,
on.
and they're like, "No one crosses the line."
Yeah, no, you're kind of like huddled on the edge. There's like a bit of like a tailgate that you can like pull up. It's like a little wooden beam that you can kind of pull up.
I grabbed a few pebbles from the river earlier and I just whipped one of Baz again.
Okay.
It pegs you in the eyebrow.
"You're a child."
I talk to Sorian again and go, I believe we're ready to leave.
Not hard. I'll
You
be
wanna
like,
try to do that?
I've been threatened. Jasper just threatened Jason. Jason is gonna walk out of the game now.
Oh my god!
Soraya nods, and you guys begin to move forward. And like it's actually he's real strong. Like
Yeah.
griffins are not weak creatures; they're very, very strong.
Mhm.
And the cart begins to rumble along.
Before I forget, I also tell him, I'd like to stop before we reach the city limits.
Okay, Soren gives an affirmative nod.
Okay.
And kind of like you can't really see his face, but like you kind of get the mental image of just like
I got you.
I said there
I
was
got
like
you,
broken
man.
cabinets and stuff inside the thing.
yeah, they're kind of like a couple of the like
Should
doors are kind of hinged off.
Yeah, we should hope soon.
If any of it like fallen off, Tabitha's gonna take it and start carving it and just
Yeah, you
doing
managed to
something
pry.
with it instead of punching the dwarf in the face.
Yeah,
again.
you managed to pry a bit off of. You managed to pry one off a cupboard. A couple of pots come clanging out and stuff, and you just kind of stack them back in. You take the doorway. And we will take a short break here as you guys begin to journey onward towards Ocean Hall.
Yay.
We'll be back.